The Roundtable presents Spotlight on the Vanished. Real stories, real children. Missing since 1996. Trudy Appleby. It has been 29 years since 11-year-old Trudy Appleby vanished from her quiet Moline neighborhood, leaving behind a mystery that continues to haunt the Quad Cities. Trudy, a bright-spirited child with brown hair and striking blue-green eyes, was last seen the morning of August 21st, 1996. According to authorities, a neighbor reported seeing Trudy enter a silver or gray four-door box-style vehicle resembling a Chevy Celebrity between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. The vehicle was parked in the driveway of her family home, tucked away off the main road and not visible from the street. The driver was described as a white male in his 20s with shoulder-length, curly brown or black hair, wearing a baseball cap. Neither he nor Trudy has been seen since. Trudy's father, who had left for work at 9 a.m., returned home later that day to find his daughter missing. She had reportedly taken a swimsuit and towel, but left nearly $200 behind that she had saved for an upcoming vacation. One of several details that made authorities reconsider their initial theory that she had run away.
Saturday marks 25 years since Trudy Appleby disappeared without a trace. The 11-year-old was last seen in the driveway of her East Moline home on August 21st, 1996, around 9:30 in the morning. The Moline Police Department has worked with the FBI, state police, and multiple agencies around the country to discover what happened to her.
No one's ever been charged or arrested in the case, but in 2017, police released the name of a person of interest, William Ed Smith, who had died years earlier. Then, 3 years later, they announced two more persons of interest, David Whipple and Jameson Fisher. TV6 Investigates Darby Sparks sat down with police and Trudy's family and friends to look back on the case in the hopes that someone may finally come forward with new information.
Trudy Appleby, the community knows her as the girl that disappeared.
She was just a little girl. She's not just a statistic.
For the last 25 years, her story has been told over and over again in the news, over social media, by word of mouth, engraving her name in the community. But to those that knew her, she was a daughter, a best friend, family.
Wanted to make more memories with her, that's for sure.
She's dearly, dearly missed.
Friends and family say 11-year-old Trudy had a skip in her step.
Very outgoing, very taken lively, wasn't afraid of too much.
My mom found her in our yard. She asked her, can I help you? And she said, my name is Trudy, you got any kids I could play with? My mom sent me outside and we became best friends.
She was a fast fixture here from that day on. She was like my other kid. She was over here all the time.
The last time Kelly and Amber saw Trudy was the night before she disappeared on August 20th, 1996, and everything seemed fine.
It was just another typical Trudy visit. They had hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, they rollerbladed out front. She was talking to me about school.
Before her disappearance, Dennis says Trudy was invited to go swimming on Campbell's Island with a friend she knew through his associations.
Dennis used to do CB radio a lot, and it was kind of a CB radio group of friends.
Dennis said no because of an important trip they were taking.
We were leaving the next day. She had things she had to get done. She had to finish packing her clothes and get her stuff ready. The very next day, we were leaving to head out west.
So Trudy decided to stick close to home and play with Amber instead.
She said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you in the morning, Amber, and I'll see all you guys tomorrow.
But she never showed up. On August 21st, 1996, Dennis went to work early in the morning and saw Trudy sleeping before he left. But then he came home at lunchtime and she wasn't there.
I brought lunch home, had it sitting there on the table, left a note. I thought at first that she was with her mom. I tried and get a hold of them, and it was about 7 o'clock that night that I called the Moline PD and said, we got a problem.
Trudy was seen by a neighbor in a car that morning with a white man in his 20s, long, dark brown curly hair and a ball cap, headed down the street.
She was at this residence right here, and she looked out her back window and saw Trudy in the vehicle coming down this driveway right here. That's where Trudy Appleby resided at the time.
That was all the information the public had until 2017, when police named Smith a person of interest in the investigation. In 2020, police also named Whipple and Fisher as persons of interest. Police and friends say Dennis was associated to them through his use of CB radio, a communication communication device truckers used to talk to each other. And police also say Whipple gave a statement a few years after Trudy went missing, claiming to have seen her in Smith's car driving towards his home. Police say that while no arrests have been made, they continue to work the case in the hopes that one day they will bring her justice.
I think Trudy was lured into going swimming. They convinced her that her dad said it was all right, and she was going to go swimming with a friend.
This is the area where Trudy Appleby was last seen. Over to the right here is a vacant lot where Dave Whipple's house used to be. And over to the left here is where Ed Smith used to reside.
Our theory is that she was victimized as a result of sexual criminal misconduct at the hands of adult males.
Smith died in 2014, but Whipple and Fisher remained in the area. I decided to ask them about the case myself. Fisher is currently serving in prison in Iowa on unrelated charges. I asked him if he had anything to do with Trudy's disappearance. He wrote back, not answering the question, and instead stating he and Smith hated each other. I went to Whipple's home to talk to him. Are you Dave Whipple?
I am.
I just want your side of the story. You know, you've been named it.
While he didn't want to talk on camera, he had a conversation with me. I asked him if he had anything to do with Trudy's disappearance, and he said no. He told me that he saw what he thought to be Trudy and Smith go to Ed's home to get life jackets. When I asked him if he thought Smith was involved, he said that he did, but he never asked him about it because he claims he and Smith didn't get along. And as for Fisher, Whipple said he never hung out around him. Police say Whipple told them about Smith and Trudy in the early 2000s.
We know from witness accounts that Ed Smith talked about it with people, talked about what possibly transpired.
Griffin says witnesses have come forward through the years with information about what happened.
There's people here that know what happened that day, people that know that Jamison Fisher has told them what Ed Smith told them, what Dave Whipple has told them. They know what has been said since 1996.
But others who may have the information to solve the case have not yet come forward.
Those that know, that harbor these secrets, they need to come forward. It's been 25 years. What are you afraid of?
They should have the decency to finally tell somebody where we can find her so that we can bring her home and bury her, because that is what we need to do.
In 2018, police found the boat where they believe Trudy was last seen.
We believe she was taken on a boat that day. We've had numerous eyewitness reports that she was on a boat with some of the people that we've named.
DNA swabs have been sent to the FBI for analysis, but it may be a few years before we find out what they find.
It's going to take some time. There was 400 to 500 swabs taken off that boat, and each one of those has to be individually analyzed for DNA.
In the meantime, Trudy's family still has hope someone will speak up.
25 years ago, you had a choice to tell us information. You still have that choice. Change that choice to tell us.
25 years later, I mean, I would have never suspected that we'd be here, but 25 years later, here we are.
Trudy's mother, Brenda Gordon, passed away in 2014 after being struck by an intoxicated driver. She never got to find out what happened to her only daughter.
If you know something and are looking to give information, go to our website where we have the Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line as well as the Moline Police Department's phone numbers listed.
Over the years, the case has evolved significantly. In 2017, William Ed Smith, a close friend of Trudy's father, was named the prime suspect. Smith, who died in 2014, was allegedly seen with Trudy in his vehicle the day she disappeared. A witness later revealed to be his son-in-law, David Whipple, claimed Smith threatened his life if he spoke to the police. Smith was reportedly acting despondent in the days following Trudy's disappearance and had his car destroyed within a week. Though his involvement has never been confirmed, suspicions continue to swirl around him and those close to him. Trudy's father believes that Smith and Whipple may have taken Trudy out on a boat on the Mississippi River, possibly to swim against his wishes. A tragic accident, he theorizes, may have occurred, one that has never been reported. Trudy was known to be friends with one of Whipple's children and often joined the family on boating trips. In 2020, a third person of interest emerged, Jamison A. Jamie Fisher, a lifelong friend of the Smith family. Investigators believe Fisher and Whipple may have played roles in concealing what happened to Trudy. Fisher is currently serving time in prison on unrelated auto theft charges and is expected to be released in 2026. Whipple, a registered sex offender, passed away in 2022 after years of refusing to cooperate with the investigators. Law enforcement continues to appeal to the public for information, particularly from those who may have witnessed suspicious activity in the area of Campbell's Island, Blackbird Island, Dominique Island, or the Empire Park Road launch in East Moline on the day Trudy disappeared.
Years ago, an 11-year-old girl went missing from East Moline and is still yet to be found. Thank you for joining us. I'm William Ingalls.
And I'm Sharon DeRick. Trudy Appleby is a familiar name for those who have lived in the Quad Cities. And tonight, a candlelight vigil was held to mark another year without answers. TV6's Kyle Bales met with Trudy's uncle today at a Silvis cemetery where the family plans to lay Trudy to rest when she is found.
We've gone around the sun another time, and we still don't have Trudy laid to rest.
Although there is still no gravesite for Trudy, a memorial bench sits in a Silvis cemetery to give friends and family a place to remember her.
Every day of the year is a day that I'm missing Trudy. Every day I think of her. Every day a thought one way or another crosses my mind.
The date, August 21st, sticks in the minds of all who remember Trudy. And each year on this day, a vigil is held, not only to honor Trudy, but also to remind those responsible that she will not be forgotten.
It's a reminder to them about what they did and what they know and what they choose to keep secret.
And it's not just Ray that has a message for those responsible. The Moline Police Department does as well.
To the man in the silver sedan that took Trudy from her home 20 years ago this morning, I'll tell you this. Actually, you already know this because we've told you this. We are coming for you. Your time is up, and we will see you soon.
I have an empty plot right here at the cemetery. And you're standing in front of us being able to lay her to rest.
Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers of the Quad Cities. The number is there on your screen. You can also leave a tip using the P3 Tips app. All tips are anonymous.
Trudy Appleby would be 40 years old today. Her case remains open and unsolved, and the Moline Police Department, alongside multiple national child advocacy organizations, continue to seek the truth. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Moline Police Department at 309-797-0401. Hope, that's why we're here.